Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gabe Velazquez here with you, transfertrainsolutions.com on a Friday. This is 14th November. We got a little sell-off uh, during the week, and we're trying to bounce here. Let's get right into the charts right here. Uh, the way starting, let's start with the S&P. Here's the bottom line with the S&P. It's range bound. I've been talking about this, writing about this, talking to my members about this. If you uh, just strip away all the noise and look at the charts for what they are, look at the long-term chart, essentially, we are bouncing. We did that here, back and forth. We broke out, couldn't hold any of the gains. Essentially, we've gone nowhere since September. I mean, if you think about it, right, from this perspective, if you draw a line across where we're at today versus where we were, middle of early, September, we're basically going nowhere. Again, we're back and forth, back and forth. I don't see that changing much. And therefore, could we go down to this, the bottom, the range really extends, in my estimation, somewhere down along here. For now, obviously we took that out, and obviously the top of the range is 6,900. We did pinpoint that out in our sessions here. So now, obviously, if we rally back, could we rally back up to where it broke down from 68.50 down to the bottom here? So all in all, we're sitting in no man's land this afternoon here as I'm doing this half hour before the market closes. We're just chopping around. And could it be any surprise if we go right back down again next week and try the 6,600? Absolutely, no question about it. So overall, I guess the way I would frame this today, we're no man's land. We're getting some bounces from NVIDIA. Basically, those stocks has been also huge ranges. Palantir, if you just got to just look at the charts of Palantir, NVIDIA, even AMD, on and on. When those bounce, you get a bounce in the market. And then all the other stocks are just, this rotation that keeps happening. At some point, it's going to change. Whether we got Nvidia earnings next week, that could change. But Nvidia earnings really haven't done much. It's actually all kinds of other stuff that move Nvidia. Who knows? Maybe this is the time. But you can see we're kind of just sit literally in no man's land relative to this week's high and the low we put in this morning, right against that pivot. So very, very tricky market. Obviously, you can catch some short-term momentum, whatever, but it's been back and forth. If you chase any of these moves, either the upside move or the downside move, you're going to get whacked. Similarly, the NASDAQ is in the same boat here. Actually, if you take a look here on the NASDAQ, it's actually a lot cleaner because we're actually closer to the bottom part of this range in the NASDAQ, where the S&P's a little bit broader. But if you take a look here, this is really, and one of the tells, if you will, was the fact that the NASDAQ was kind of lagging, and obviously for the obvious reason again with I think NVIDIA is your key. Look at all these AI stocks. NVIDIA is whatever, NVIDIA pretty much does. You're going to see the markets kind of follow along. So watch NVIDIA for some leading indicators with regards to any movement in the averages. The VIX also interestingly pulling back from 20, didn't spike, which is interesting, didn't spike. Even recently, we had that big sell-off a couple of weeks ago, similar to what we're seeing in the last couple of days. And the VIX jumped to 30. This only got the VIX up to 20 this morning. I think we may have to see another spike here, get some panicky selling in here next week. if in fact we want to, make a new high on the S&P or the Nasdaq. And overall, I mean, we could just be chopping around here till the end of the year. But I think next year is going to be tough again. The rest of the markets, dollar, not much happening there, holding at 100. Um, Gold may, try to run up again. Came close to the supply, and now it's pulling back again. I think it's going to mean revert back somewhere down in here again. We actually took a short position in silver yesterday with our group here, uh, right along this area, right along here. Uh, Kind of a double top formation here. This is very similar to what happened with gold earlier. I think silver probably goes down to 49 or eventually peaks out and goes to 45. Last time we had gold pull back. So we'll see how this goes here. But lots of volatility in the metals. Oil just churning here also between 59 and 61. What's going to get us out of that? This is ready for a breakout too, by the way. If oil can hold, I think it's going to break out to the upside here. And there's a lot of stuff brewing in the Middle East and Russia. That's going to be a Middle East Russia story with oil. Nat gas I talked about possibly breaking out. It's just been chopping around in here also. Next week I think is going to be critical if in fact we're going to get a further rally in nat gas. Next week's going to be key. If we can hold above this level here, I think could be in the midst of a run. Grains just cannot get any kind of traction. Anytime they talk about soybeans in the tariffs, and you can see here also pulling back. So again, I would say grains are in the same situation, just very, very choppy with I think until we get this tariff issue resolved, grains are going to be just chopping around in here. Even though corn looked pretty good, looked like it was going to try to break out right back down again. So nothing happening in the grain markets. And all the action is in the stocks like Palantir, I mentioned, bouncing back. Nvidia came right down to support and rallied. This is really going to be key. If Nvidia breaks 180, this will take the whole market down pretty much. So and obviously with earnings coming out next Wednesday, I believe this is going to be key. So that is where we're at. Again, lots of choppy trading back and forth. Obviously, there's 100-point moves in the S&P. And a lot more in the Nasdaq. Huge risk in the Nasdaq, even the micros. Obviously, you're going to be having to risk $400 or $500 a pop if you're trading Nasdaq futures. S&P, just not a lot of great looking levels. All the levels that get blown out. It is very tricky unless you're catching on some short-term momentum, that type of thing. So, it is what it is. Watching all these indicators. There's going to be some stocks setting up pretty nicely next week, I believe. So that's actually where we're focused more on the individual stocks and the metals and possibly some of the energy shares as well. Okay, all right. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday. I'm still working on that live show. I'll put something out in the next week or two. And so in the meantime, subscribe to the newsletter. Give me a thumbs up. Have a great weekend. Take care.